Good evening. My name is Nicole Mitch, and today we have a special broadcast of India. In the environmental sector, we have the SGPC, which is contemplating using an eco-friendly detergent powder. This is for cleaning the utensils at the Golden Temple. Thousands of utensils are being cleaned at the temple daily, and experts claim ordinary detergents are contributing to pollution in the temple's premises. That is why the project manager, Ravneet Singh, told the TOI that the chemicals were too harsh and that there were several soap-berries-based detergents that had been in use for centuries. Besides, there are low chemical and herbal detergents marketed by several companies which can be replaced by harsh chemical detergents. With other news of environmental factors, we have Evelyn Ramos on the news. Hello, Evelyn. How are you today?
Hi, Nicole. I'm good, thanks. Well, Nicole, in India is witnessing a rising demand for forest-based products. This is causing deforestation and encroachment into forest-protected areas, which leads to a severe loss of natural resources. It is estimated that a total of industrial roundwood consumptions in India could exceed 7 million per year by the end of that decade, while domestic supply would fall short of this figure by an estimated 14 million. As the nation will have to depend heavily on imports to meet this growing demand, there is a fear that this could result in loss of high conservation value forests by biodiversity elsewhere.
My name is Erica Hernandez, coming to you live from India. I have news about population. Mumbai bans lingerie-clad mannequins to save men from impure thoughts. Mumbai, home of India's increasingly raunchy Bollywood film industry, is to ban mannequin modeling lingerie from its shop windows to stop the city's men having impure thoughts. Representatives on the city's local authority have voted to ban the models in a move that believe many reduce the number of rapes and sexual assaults. Local councillors, known as corporators, said mannequins dressed in lacy underwear, stockings, and suspenders have led to a pollution of minds among the men in the city, which has India's second highest number of rapes after Delhi. And back to you, Evelyn.
I'm news reporter Evelyn Ramos coming with the news of sanctions on Sri Lanka. Tamil Nadu Governor K. Rosao has urged the Indian government to impose economic sanctions of Sri Lanka and take steps to ensure that those displaced by the ethnic conflict there return to their original homes. According to him, the rehabilitation measures taken by Sri Lankan government were not at par with the expectations, referring to the attacks of Indian fishermen by Sri Lankan security forces, quoted Rosai. The fishermen of Tamil Nadu, who earn their livelihood in their traditional fishing areas of the Polk Bay region, are victims of repeated harassments and murderous attacks by the Lankan Navy. He said the Tamil Nadu government was anguished at the harassment of Indian fishermen by the Sri Lankan Navy, while the Indian government showed the utter disregard of their woes. No other information has been brought to our attention in regards with the penalties that Sri Lanka is currently facing.
News reporter Erica Hernandez has some important information on internal migration that everyone must know. Erica?
Hello, Nicole. I'm fine, thank you. As for internal migration, villagers abandon homes for Elephant Highway. Tribesmen in northeast India have agreed to relocate their village to clear the way for an elephant highway and bring an end to a long-running conflict with local pachyderm herds. There has been an increase in fatal wild elephant attacks on villagers throughout the country. Wildlife officials welcomed their agreement and said they will rebuild their traditional jungle houses along with a school and other facilities nearby. Its location has been blamed for a number of rampages in which elephants have destroyed homes and ruined crops. There has been an increase in fatal wild elephant attacks on villagers throughout the country, which wildlife say is caused by human encroachment on elephant habitats. An estimated 100 villagers will now move by the end of the year to a new model village with a school, clinic, and electricity supply.
And now we're here with Erlin.
Thanks, Evelyn. So this story critically thinks about the possibilities of India's identity. Throughout history, failures of ethnic identity in the geopolitically sensitive region of Darjeeling, India, have been creating problems recently for the local population. In this Himalayan corner of the nation-state, borders have proven beneficial, however negative, for the identity of India and its politics. At once enlarging a community's desire for national inclusion, while rendering them largely unable to meet the Indian state's criteria for national recognition. As is the case along India's other borders, anxieties over national belonging have subsequently spawned violent subnationalist agitations in Darjeeling, as well as more legal quests for right, recognition, and autonomy. An identity crisis haunts the people and politics of this Himalayan borderland. Going back to the crisis at hand, this story asks how certain forms of human differences become viable identities in India, while others do not. The majority of groups in India have been fighting with one another over such subtle things such as surname and the color of one's skin, but others argue over cultural as well as religious values. In conclusion, the only real way to end these troubles within India is to educate the groups and bring them together. Back to you, Evelyn.
In other news, India's coal industry is choking under a heap of problems, including inefficiency, corruption, and environmental concerns. With coal being India's main source of power, these issues pose substantial risks to the country's economic growth. Unless warm, power outages are commonplace in many parts of the country, and hundreds of millions of citizens do not have access to electricity at all, the Indian government says to our press. It is obvious that effective management and efficient utilizations of the country's coal resources are clearly important to the future of the country. Efficient harnessing and use of the coal reserves in the country is also critical if India has to meet its development objectives while minimizing local and global environmental impacts. Mr. Cole, the president of the University of Petroleum and Energy Studies in India, explains that the problem in the coal sectors are a massive drain on economic resources for companies. For instance, in the Uttar Pradesh, which is suffering acute power outages, small and medium enterprises is forced to shut down or use standalone diesel sets, which are 6 to 10 times costlier. This also poses a big question on the effectiveness of the utilization of investments like foreign direct investments.
Maoists reveal fresh hit list to target ex-Salwa Judum activists. Within days after the worst Naxal ambush targeting senior Congress leaders in Chhattisgarh, now Maoists have sent a letter to Sukma District Collectorate threatening to eliminate at least 15 people who were associated with controversial anti-Naxalite movements Salwa Judum. The letter, written in red ink by Darba Divisional Committee of the Communist Party of India, also called Maoist, was received on Tuesday. It stated, "We will punish the Salwa Judum activists and the police. You will not be able to protect them even by developing your entire force," the letter threatened. The Maoists named the Salwa Judum leaders and those who were helping the security forces to take action against innocent tribes and sending them to jail. Maoist demand include withdrawal of the paramilitary Central Reserve Police Force, also known as CRPF, from Bastar, stop killing innocent people, and calling off Vikas Yatra and Parivartan Yatra. The rebels have now gone public, challenging the security forces to protect those who were in their hit list, which they have sent off to the office of District Collector Sukma. Next, we have reporter Erica Hernandez with the news on agriculture. Erica, how are you?
News on agriculture include that the government has approved drought relief package to Maharashtra. The Maharashtra government has demanded a relief package. Of the total 34 districts in Maharashtra, the worst affected are Solapur, Ahmednagar, Sangli, Pune, Satara, Bid, and Nashik. The situation is also serious in Budana, Latur, Osmanabad, Nanded, Aurangabad, Jalna, Jangaon, and Dul districts, an official said. Some districts in the state are facing acute shortage of fodder and drinking water problems. Drinking water is being supplied through tankers in most affected villages. And back to you, Nicole!
Next, I come with an issue that is a little disturbing to explain. There has been a lot of violence against women in India. The issues include acid throwing, dating abuse, domestic violence and pregnancy, dowry death, honor killing, breast ironing, and the most popular, bride burning. Bride burning is a form of domestic violence, which is most common in India, in which the bride is killed at home by her husband or the husband's family due to satisfaction in the marriage. We have breaking news coming in. Erland?
Here's Erlen with the breaking news.
Thank you, Evelyn. Looking beautiful as always.
Thank you.
Another fascinating story about India has to do with the award-winning documentary by Sandra Frisky, Born into Brothels. The documentary, made in 2004, deals with the director following a group of children from both genders whose mothers are prostitutes and fathers are usually drug dealers. These children were given cameras and told to take pictures of what they see every day in their life. While these children were out capturing the world through a lens, the director is out trying to give these children a better life, moving them to a better school in a better part of India. One of the children, Avajit Halder, came to purchase his pictures after this successful event. Halder went to England to study photography, and now he is a junior at New York University majoring in film. He's now flying to India in order to finish this film that he himself has written, is directing, and is producing. This just goes to show that something good can come out of something bad.
As for services, Dabawala, literally meaning box person, is a person in India, most commonly in Mumbai, who collects freshly cooked food in lunch boxes from the residences of most suburban office workers, delivering it to their respective workplaces and returning to the empty boxes back to the customer's residence by using various modes of transportation, such as cars, motorcycles, bicycles, etc. Tiffin is an Anglo-Indian word derived from obsolete English slang tiffing, to sip. Dabawalas are now being used in some parts of England thanks to chain migration.
Well, that's all for tonight. Thank you all for listening, and stay tuned for tomorrow and our next news reports, bringing news from all around the world.
Wow, there's so many people following me and Vine, and I didn't even like.
Wow, okay, help you.
I know.
My shoulder pads are up here.
Hi, Nicole.
No. It didn't. It was.
And now,
No. Fascinating.
and now,
No. Story about India. Another fascinating story about India has to do with the award-winning documentary by Sandra Frisky.
India's increasingly.
and now,
No. Another fascinating story about India has to do with the award-winning documentary by Sandra Frisky.
It's always in the same spot.
here's her. I'm sorry, hold on. Here's her little no. I'm gonna read it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
No, I can do it. Believe in me. Okay. Believe in me. Believe in me.
And now,
No.